as long as I can get these right. All I would have to do is really splice this up. You can go ahead and set it up wherever you want. I don't know where I want mine exactly.
I'm just going to set mine right on the shoulder.
I actually have mine on my knee.
On your knee?
Well, here's the thing. I've got this going on up here.
Them dangly bobs?
Well, they're actually kind of loud because they got the nails on them.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. I spent a good little bit on this. I just showed him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I showed you him. He, was the only, his the only real imperfections are kind of right there where you can see the stitching. And in the back, I measured wrong because I did everything freehand. All I used was the fabric tape. So when I did the circle, I was like trying to be an artistic motherfucker, you know? And I am not an artistic motherfucker.
You get you some plastic teeth and give them some front teeth right here.
You think?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. This goes right over my eyes when I put it on.
Okay.
So if I had the teeth, I wouldn't be able to see. I don't think. Not well.
I think this little imperfection here, if you pop a stitch right there, close it up, like it'd be fine.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
It looks good though.
I'll never know. I'll just never know.
He's still got some.
But he's fun. He's technically a 3-panel hat, but he is like one fat panel. Well, he's a 4-panel hat. And I took his legs, and I just took his face. Usually people will take a piece here and put the face on it.
Yeah.
But I figured it was more convenient to just put the face on there. Not that this has anything to do about swords, but
I mean,
you know,
I bet
people used to hunt with swords.
I bet Daniel Bowie had a Bowie knife.
He did have a Bowie knife. Those fucking crazy.
I don't think they fenced with it. They fought with it.
Raccoon penis is made of ivory. I learned that the other day. We were just talking about that. We're talking about a lot. If you're seeing this before Shorts Open, which happened in fucking what, September?
Last year, a very long time ago.
Alright, dude, like, it's January 20.
It's been a long year.
Or like the 18th.
It's been a long year already. It's been rough.
It has been a long year. We've been meaning to sit here and do this. So, you know, Kasey's come out today. Eric Kasey, you all know him. And if you don't own a t-shirt of him yet, you fucked up and you need to go buy one.
It's not this one.
It's not that one. I don't have on a t-shirt under here, so
I can't show
you. You should have worn it. I might include that in the Paraguay thing.
Okay.
An Eric Kasey shirt.
Cool.
I gotta see what the cost is on it, but it only cost me like $20 to ship the flag.
Oh, yeah. You want me to sign it?
Yeah, dude. If I can get it there, but they also want a pair of shorts. So these dudes want like $50 of my sample order, and I'm like, But I keep offering it. Yeah, so it's not like they want it. It's like I'm offering this. So what I'm doing is like I asked Dan, I was like, hey, do you want to like sponsor this random ass tournament in Paraguay? And he's like, I'm researching Paraguay right now. And I was like, oh, it's not that deep. They're sword nerds, you know?
When you said Paraguay, I thought it was next to Prague.
Dude.
And I was like, I better Google it too.
So I told Josh Dale.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really supposed to. Obviously, the cod piece is the main prize. If you haven't seen a crotch tail cod piece, go buy one. They're fucking awesome. Or at least buy the STL. Like, support me. I got a Nigerian guy. I paid him way too much money to make that. And then I went and looked at other guys, and it was like $50. I was like, motherfucker, right? But he did a good job. Yeah, and he allowed a great place for scrappings. And I kind of worked him like a Hebrew slave, to be honest. Like, I was messaging that dude, being a Karen about it. Because
he said it
fucked me all my money.
2 days, and then took like 2 weeks, right?
It was like something like that, but it's not that extreme. But I liked the dude at the end of it because it was the funniest bit ever, right? Like his student bought one. I forgot if someone else had one or was gonna. I was supposed to send it. I thought I was supposed to send it to Billy. That was gonna be a freebie there. I never did. Sorry, Billy, if you're watching. It's fucking sorry, dude. I think after I spent like that $100-something trolling him that week, I think I was just like, fuck this, I want my money.
If you don't spend money trolling somebody, you're not a real troll.
You're not a real troll, no. If you're not like buying tools on the internet to fuck with people like AI and shit. Did you see the one I just put up?
I did.
That one is making the fucking rounds right now. You know how that happened? I asked Josh to contribute to the tournament, like a letter, something small. Like you don't have to. You just have to put it in the mail, put a stamp on it, right? Yeah. And he thought I was fucking with him because I fucked with him so much. And he was like,
"You've traumatized this."
Yeah. He's got a lot of love for South America though, so he's like, oh. I have this thing. I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm not gonna spoil it. But he has this thing that he wants to give away, and he's gonna sign it. I don't know if he's gonna put a note with it or what. But essentially, I don't know if they're getting that because I have to.
It's still in the works.
The shipping situation is fucked right now. I have to ship it to Florida to get it to Paraguay because I don't know. I tried to get them to explain it, just like whatever. Have your Colty Saber tournament. I'll sponsor it. I'm sending them a CHFA flag to put up and a Purple Heart flag. So it worked out well. You've been in charge of 13th for how long now? You're top honcho now for how long? It's just like Queens, right?
Maybe 6 months. I haven't really counted.
I thought it was 6 Queens, wasn't it?
That sounds right.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Or after
that was in August.
Around that time. Around that main tournament circuit time, yeah. So, how are things going in your little group there?
We practice in the park. I'm not charging anybody. Come on out. I've had people from like 3 or 4 hours away message me, hey, I want to come out. I'm like, that's a drive. And there are other places closer that have better resources. So I'm in between like directing people, and then since it was the holidays, took some time off.
Yeah.
About to get started back up soon. Just like a Friday morning, Friday afternoon, something like that.
Hell yeah.
But everybody's
you guys were really consistent on Saturday.
Yeah, we were doing like there for a little bit. We were doing like a Friday and a Saturday, and that just worked out for people who were available to make it. But we were doing like I plan on doing like Friday longsword, and then Saturday like introduction to armor. Right, so we're gonna start doing like dagger and poleaxe.
Yeah.
And like half swording.
That's something. Let's get into it a little later.
Yeah.
Right. But that is something to cover. We don't have a whole lot of time right now, but I want to cover all the bases we can. So the club's going well. You're growing up some with it, like.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not forcing it to grow. I'm not doing any advertisement. People reach out and they find us on Hemo Alliance. Go to that website if you haven't. Find a club near you.
You know what? It's actually working really well for me.
What's that?
Google Business.
Google Business.
If you have a Google Business page, it's free to make. You make a Gmail for your business, or you get your business Gmail through your domain website, and it automatically gives you what you need. So if you search, do you have your phone on you? Oh, where are you using your phone? Where's my phone? That's all I'm
You'll show me later.
I'll show you. Like, Adam, you have your phone?
You were almost sponsored by Google.
I was almost sponsored by Google. I'll pull up. I'll just like edit it in, Adam.
He's focused.
He's got his fucking headphones in. He's sleeping.
Super focused.
He looks pissed about it too. He's like, I don't want to sleep.
He's doing great.
Adam! Holy shit.
That's all right.
I am screaming. I wonder how bad I'm going to have to edit that down.
Adam, we love you.
Adam, we love you. I don't even think
he's doing a great job
on there. His phone's over there.
Yeah.
So we're all screwed. But yeah, if you look up Carolina Historical Fencing, we have that card that pops up first before the ads or anything.
Nice.
I think before the ads, but
so
it's one of those things.
I know we talked about like doing an LLC, and I got all the links, and I got the paperwork pulled up. I just got to fill it out and like submit it. But I would
it's
like
just writing your name 3 times.
I would like to have 13th as like an LLC, so that way I can feel comfortable advertising and I can feel comfortable hosting events and like having insurance and like all the protection and liability and everything.
If you gotta talk louder over him, sorry, we have Adam sweeping the class just ended. Dude, sweep as loud as you need to. Bro. It's like, it's fine, brother. It's fine. I promise. You're not interrupting anything. Have you watched any of my videos? They're all fucked, man. Yeah, you're in them. Yeah, like you don't even need to watch them. It's us getting him nicotine high on the couch.
Oh no!
It's all of us ripping vapes and.
I just
what
thought.
The fuck are we talking about?
We're doing a HEMA podcast.
This is a HEMA podcast. And this is actually what HEMA is about. Is you talk and you all have ADHD. So then you actually have no idea what the fuck Meyer was talking about because you were talking about something else instead of Meyer.
I have a Meyer book, and like many other books, I haven't even opened it.
The fuck were we talking about? You were
talking about Google Business.
Google Business. Okay, here's the thing.
LLC.
All right,
Opening,
LLC.
13
right.
opening and LLC.
13th opening.
This motherfucker chose to ignore me a minute ago. Fuck it.
I had music playing.
You had your music play. I was like, I yelled, dude, and you heard that? What the fuck?
Because I paused it when I got close to the camera, so I was okay.
I didn't know that. Damn it.
I appreciate the thought.
Thought is nice.
You're doing great, Adam. We love you.
Adam is the hardest working. I think.
Hardest working guy here.
He's the hardest CHFA working. Probably next to Will. Will's done so much graphic design. If you've ever come to any of my tournaments and you saw the cool ads and promos, that was all Will. As far as manual labor, this is the guy. He's like, please sleep through.
He's got the body of a manual laborer.
He does do manual labor. This is.
I'm a construction worker. I'm a personal trainer, and I'm a med student.
You didn't hear that, I don't think, but he's a construction worker, a personal trainer, a med student, and I'm thinking of something funny to say. I'm drawing a blank.
He is.
No.
I had to pause because I was like, I'm not getting canceled.
There's two things you can say. Both would piss off most of our Eastern audience.
Can you come and say it then? Well, it's like when
Can we say go-go dancer?
Come here, son.
He's a good go-go dancer, right? Because Jason Statham was a go-go. We're gonna fade to black better than Metallica did.
Ooh.
I thought you were
So when you go through the editor, you can get a free editor and then like follow like the icon with the scissors and use that a lot.
Yeah. So I do this thing. It's called mute. It's called we just muted this part because it's funny to watch everything but the audio. I do think it's funny sometimes. You should honest to God. I told you I was working with Ash on some stuff.
Yeah.
10 times worse.
I believe
10 times worse.
I believe it.
I put my neck on the line, so I will edit this out to save you all.
Yeah, no. What you
I'll
need-
save the main page.
While
I'll take myself down.
Just cut the audio and say, due to Eastern audience viewpoints, we are not allowed to.
There you go, dude. That's what I'm doing right there, dude. Thanks, Eastern Europe.
Due to the region you're viewing in, this has been muted.
Literally any of them.
Throw up the Netflix warning sign.
Throw up a pin on every city in the world. Throw up a world map and just highlight the whole thing red, including the sea.
No, due to the
If you live in Atlantis, I'm so sorry we offended your people for being gay fish like Kanye.
Don't highlight the Red Sea though. That'd be like too much.
I think that would be funny. I think that would be funny as fuck.
highlight everything except for one random Eastern European country.
Just one year.
No, don't highlight that one. Highlight every other one, and watch as they all shit on each other. Because Eastern Europeans are so racist towards themselves.
We have such a bad joke problem that
No,
it gets so out of hand. We're gonna get beat up.
If a Balkan meets another Balkan from a different country,
I thought you said Vulcan. I was like,
Listen, on a legit note, and I'll actually relate this to swords. I don't know if this goes for HEMA, but God doesn't go for Bohurt, and it goes into the politics of Bohurt. We've gone off track.
you have to.
But that does exist in sports, on a real note.
Don't worry, this is on my phone. I'll edit it before I send it to you.
Thank God. I'm glad my editor's broke, so you can do it.
Yeah.
You don't even have to put nothing up there. I'll just
cut it out.
I'll just slap the thumbnail on it, or done. Watch this. You ever hit a bong? You ever smoke a bong?
I plead the fifth.
what about your durability? Fuck you, I got a splinter.
My hands are not like sweaty enough to make fart noises.
I just
anymore.
inhaled, or I swallowed smoke. You ever swallowed smoke?
I plead the fifth.
It's just like, fuck no. Not today, motherfucker. Yeah, dude. No, what about you?
I'm stuck on this now. I used to be able to fucking do this all the
I
time.
can't do that anymore, I used to be able to do that in 9th grade. But so, Google Business. If you set up the website and the LLC and the Google Business, you'll get hits off Google Business. If you put a number on there, I'm telling you now, this shit low-key hits.
Do I need a burner phone?
I would get one. A flip phone.
Yeah.
Just get a flip phone
Text only.
that can do text and call. I like when I get a call, right? It also have a caller ID. So Google. If you have a Google, if you register any number on the business, that'll pop up as a caller ID.
Yeah. So then I'd need two phones, one for the plug and one for the fluke.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah. No, exactly. But what really hits, and I need to check my email because I probably got a few.
Probably.
I just don't see them all the time. They used to hit me before I would be awake. Online form submissions. Like if you use Squarespace, you can just put an online form. It's like contact us.
Okay.
You'll get
I see
3
those ads
hits a
on
month.
YouTube. I see those ads on YouTube all the time.
3 hits a month, straight up, and all you gotta
Squarespace.
do, yeah, you just do contact us as a tab.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the fuck. I mean, that's how you do it. It's wicked gnarly how many different sources like work well. Like Human Alliance in the beginning, I thought that was the only thing. I thought that was the shit.
Yeah.
And more people kind of found out about the sport, and well, also people are looking for fencing in general, and they realize it's not around.
Right.
So they go to you. But for us, if they are looking for actual fencing, we have Rick here.
Hi, Rick.
Yeah, hi Rick. I doubt that Rick's watching, but it'd be hilarious if Rick's watching right now. He's watched through.
Comment
this
below. Peanut butter.
Yeah, if you're Rick. If you're Rick, I'm not gonna say your last name. I'm throwing you under the bus. But his son also runs the Columbia fencing.
Wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, well, because he used to run it or something and pass it down or whatever. But he's fucking phenomenal. You've seen his workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
everything.
Good stuff.
He's putting together that one. Are you coming to that? Price point is a
Yes.
little high,
Yeah.
but I'm pushing it back a month.
Like the worst case scenario, like I have it and I brag about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it comes with like certificates for like a higher association with
Right.
them too.
Right.
So that's
Yeah, I'm
something to watch out
excited
for.
about having like an actual martial arts certificate.
Yeah.
Because I've got a Taekwondo black belt and it came with certificate, and that's like
That's
the
any-
only certificate
yeah.
I got.
It's like any
Right?
belt you get.
Yeah.
I have belts from every belt.
Nice.
Or certificates from every belt. Of course, I have a belt from every belt. But there are a few belts I swore I had as a kid and I lost.
You got loops for those belts?
No, I don't. No. But
So I got a question.
yeah.
Is it the belt or the loops that hold up your pants? Like, how do you feel about that?
Oh fuck, dude.
I mean, it's a deep question.
The belt suspends it. The belt suspends the loops. The loops don't hold up your pants. The loops are suspended by the belt. So therefore, the belt holds it up because the belt would have to slip
But
to
if
not suspend it. So it sits over your hip. So therefore, the belt suspends the loops, and the loops don't keep up your pants.
If the loops weren't there, though.
If the loops weren't there, you would fold over the pants, and they would stay on the same way because they wouldn't go past your waist.
Fold over the pants. What do you mean?
So
Oh, you mean
not
like
to show too
roll
much
over the
leg.
belt?
If I had this, well, back in the day, people used to wear fucking suspenders anyway.
Right.
Belt, who cares?
We're not talking about suspenders.
You did a belt over here, right? But how many times have you seen a dude with in the fucking 80s? I mean, yeah, they had belt loops, but I mean, they were up to their
you're
fucking
talking about, like-
nipples in the 70s, dude. Like
where they used to wear pants.
But like, I could put a belt here
Yeah.
and just roll it down, brother.
I don't know.
It's the same thing like with this. When it's slipping down, I'll roll the sleeve back or sew a piece of leather there, right? So yeah, it's the belt.
Okay.
That's the key component. Because my pants can stay up without the loops if they fit right.
If they fit right, that's the thing.
Yeah, why would I buy pants that don't fit right, brother?
Why would you buy pants that fit right? You're a grown boy.
Dog, I'm 21. I hope if I'm growing more, I've been waiting on it, but it ain't happened.
Okay.
I got like 4 years maybe of that, and it's all mental, brother.
True.
That's the scariest part, man. Because
True.
you don't want to develop the wrong way, you know what I mean?
Grow down.
Yeah, you don't want to. I feel like it's been stagnant for so long and stuff. I'll be stuck as a teenager in my 30s. Like that's what I'm accepting.
You haven't made it to teenager yet.
I probably no. I only started doing drugs around 14. I had a couple of sobriety moments. I probably have the lungs of like a 15-year-old. And
The Victorian Dyke has better lungs than he does.
I don't know. I got decent cardio for someone who's been smoking this long, but don't smoke.
Don't smoke.
Don't smoke, kids. Don't do it.
Nicotine's bad.
It's not
Unless
good
it's
for you. Don't do
premium
it.
cigars.
I can endorse a cigar, but I'm not going to tell people to just go out their way to smoke one unless like you already have like friends who do.
Speaking
But
about
don't buckle into peer pressure.
speaking about
Peer pressure your
cardio.
friend in alcoholism.
Cardio now.
Yeah, speaking about cardio, I feel like I did good today because we had a sparring class.
Yeah, we ran a gauntlet
We ran
and
a
it was a
gauntlet
pretty big
for
class.
everybody. We ran
Yeah.
a gauntlet for everybody.
Even little Roman.
Yeah, he surprised me. His distance is really good.
That kid's good, man.
Yeah.
I got him to finally buy those goggles.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got them, he just started whooping ass. So
Nice.
I'm so proud of everyone walking in. And, Dad, Jeff, I want him to loosen up a little more. I think he just looks tense. Some people just have that look about him. Like Adam, every time he has a problem, I think it's his lower back, because his lower back's just fucked, right? But in reality, it's not. It's like his ass.
So if he's watching the video, cool. This is what I'll say. If he doesn't watch the video, you gotta tell him.
He probably won't. I don't know. I'll have to go tell him.
I would like to see him stand upright more, have better posture,
Oh, yeah.
and that would help him look relaxed.
That would, yeah, because he gets...
Yeah, he hunches
He has
over,
this habit,
right?
and I find myself yelling at him a lot about that. Roman has this issue, he had it in the beginning, and I'm just giving you a reference. This kid's 100 pounds, 5'6", yeah, and he's gonna charge him for a grapple. And what's funny is he runs his head into the cross guard.
He did that to me.
And then he wobbles over, and he doesn't have his balance. So I had to work on the actual footwork with him. Yeah. And it's not all the way there yet. We still have to get past the whole crossing your feet thing, which is something I have, as an instructor, forgotten to teach sometimes.
What do you mean crossing your feet over?
Well, you shouldn't cross your feet in the fight.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, this is a balance thing.
Right.
So that is something so small that I didn't even think to teach it to beginners, because I haven't thought about it in so long. I know it's bad, and I know when I'm actively doing it, but I don't think of it that hard, But there will be times where there's an obvious fuck up, and I'm like, yeah, dude, your feet were really crossed there. So then I try to get them to chain all their techniques with their footwork. Yep. And that seems
if your
to
hands
work
are
better.
attached to your feet, it kind of works.
Yeah.
But speaking about like HEMA and teaching and beginners and stuff, I ran into the same thing when I first started teaching more regularly new students. It's like, wait a minute, I haven't done this in so long. How do I explain this? How do I explain something I haven't thought about in like 6 years?
Dude, trying to, because I have a background in Iaido, trying to explain shit from that, and it very well applies, or Kendo too, it's shit that very well applies for what we're doing. Yeah. But the terminology is so specific, I now have to explain an ideal to you.
Yes. That
is only inherently known through this language. And to put it in English is so many words for one word. But we have to use the one word to get the point across, because being present is not Zanshin. But Zanshin is this awareness in the fight. You have this... there's so many words. What's
you have to have the experience.
Semi, forward pressure. You wouldn't know what forward pressure meant. You would think this is forward pressure. But this is forward pressure.
I'm like out of range. I have to
not even that.
No?
I can just... I'm looking at you, right? Is my center line on you?
Yeah. Your
center line's not on me.
No.
Is my sword on you? I've got forward pressure.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So it's that simple.
Gotcha.
It's always, it's not always going in. It's always
being prepared.
And having that line, and being able to hold your ground. Because I feel like a lot of people, and this is why we say a lot of people don't just stand there.
Right.
Which is not what you're supposed to do all the time, but if you can pay pretty good.
When I get stressed out in a tournament, if you go back and watch my Surfo matches, there were so many times where I just freeze and I'm not moving.
Really?
It's bad.
No fucking way.
When I get stressed out, I end up not moving because I revert back to counteroffensive, which is terrible.
I move so much. you see me at tournament, I do this.
Yeah.
If I'm waiting on the match, I'm rocking back and forth because I'm ready. Because I'm not trying to think that that's a person, because I am trying to win. And that sounds really fucked, and you'd probably be like, oh, don't ever lose me, I fight in a fucking tournament. But fuck you, I did really good at Raleigh Open despite my shorts. So much that I got confidence for it behind my back, which was cool. Which, you know what I mean? That's like the coolest shit ever, to get a compliment behind your back.
I suppose.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, if you see me start like stepping out of distance, it's reminding myself to keep my feet moving, right?
Yeah.
If you see me like taking these little short stutter steps, it's me telling my brain, hey, these got to work when I want them to.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, I end up getting to the point where I get stuck. I feel strong, I feel confident, and I don't move.
Absolutely. I don't think that hard. I don't know. Hot Sword Summer was my best performance this year. I didn't feel like my competition was super skilled, but
I had some matches. I really did.
I had a really good match with John Knock. whoever I fought in the first bracket that called me lame for hand sniping them 8 times is a bitch. But yeah, everyone. I met Benjamin Murphy and thought he was Ben Akrig.
Don't shun the tag hits.
Don't shun the tag hits, dude, because I'll do it more. I'll just tag hit you only, and you'll just keep losing, and you'll keep holding your crossguard vertically like a bitch. But whenever I thought I was fighting Ben Akrig because he was on the list, but it was Ben Murphy. So I like hyped up to fuck up Marshall's dude, and I like Marshall. I don't want to fuck his dude up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I knew, like I still fuck him up, but like it's respectful, right? But I had no clue. So here I am, and I was doing this match, and you saw me. I was dancing. Oh my god, it's Ben Akrig. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I was ready to fuck this guy up, and I went in there, and I was like, oh, if you get the doubles, you get to go where I want to be. And then I kept scoring. I was like, yeah. You know, I felt like I was on top of the fucking world. Yeah. And you know, then it was fine, and I think I had a really easy pool. There was one guy in there I was a little scared about, but I hit a ki on him, and got the free point. So it's just like, I don't know. Hot Sword Summer was my favorite. I think best ran. In terms,
I plead the fifth. No, so I had fun at Hot Sword Summer.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to put one over the other. But, because I only went to 3. You know how many tournaments go on in a year?
You're
shit done, right? We're just in the Southeast. I didn't go to Surfo. I'm sure Surfo's ran very well, but it has its controversy. So I avoid it. I heard only good things about Steel Jam in Florida. Never heard one bad thing.
I've heard good things about Steel Jam.
Same with Hot Sword Summer, other than like the one like neckbeard judge that could not fucking see. I'm not calling that dude out. I don't know you. I'm just saying you're blind.
So I will say, when I first started HEMA, excuse me, Florida was kind of like stuck in its own little ecosystem, right?
Kind of like now in real life. Not just in HEMA, but like.
Oh, you mean like
financially,
a peninsula?
Culturally.
I guess.
All of it. You've been there, man. It was crazy.
I've been there. Like I got family down in Florida.
Dog, Tampa is not America. I'm just saying. I don't know where I was at, but it was way too chill for somewhere that's not that chill. And I was practically drunk, right? I took my Klonopin, smoked a bunch of weed. And then I was dragged through Soho to the bars in the middle of the night. And I didn't even drink. I was just like watching UFC on the TV, like cross-eyed.
Again, I don't know enough about it, but I'm just saying, like when I started HEMA in 2016, like there weren't any tournaments in Florida. And if there were, they were all in-house stuff or local stuff. And only recently have we had people coming up from Florida. And they've all been really fucking cool.
Like Wook.
Yeah.
I was on Wook's podcast. Have you been on it yet?
Yes. I think.
Maybe I don't know.
Him and Marshall were doing a podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I have been on that.
You did. You told me about it.
Yeah. I felt like I did a horrible job on this podcast.
I did it first, and you're like, oh, I was supposed to be first. And I was gonna I'll talk about this. Then I was going to have you first on mine to make up for it. And then I forgot, and then I think I did Marshall or something. I was like, oh, I felt like shit.
So both you and Marshall asked me to be first on the podcast. And I was like, yeah, this is great. This is how else is this going to go down? This is amazing. I'm going to finally get the recognition I deserve. Kidding. And then it's like, oh yeah, by the way.
Sorry, dude. Sorry.
It's
totally I think it's
fine.
just how we operate. I just texted him. He's like, yeah, we can do it right now. Or like, yeah, we do it like in a week. Or whatever it was, it was like, I cranked out like 4 in a day. Yeah. I did 1 on a lake. That'll be the one you see next. Stay tuned for that. It's me and Matthew cracking like Filthy Frank jokes and shit. You know, it's fucking awesome. And we're just on this little lake. Well, really like a pond in my opinion. But
So I'll say about that podcast, what I think makes a good podcast is when people have differences in opinions and can convey that in an intelligent manner. And the thing, right? And the thing about the podcast with, I forget what they're calling it, but with Wook and Marshall, like we all agreed. So
that was kind of the thing is like we all
agreed.
I don't remember. I really don't remember it because I did it so long ago.
Yeah.
But when I started my run after that, have you watched the one with me and Josias Arcadia?
I don't think so.
He's from Detroit. Not. I think he's from Michigan, adjacent. Just
From the Midwest.
I wouldn't call it northwest of here.
Okay.
By a very narrow bit. Like this is the angle.
North,
if this
northwest?
is South Carolina, if this blister is South Carolina, it's an acute angle.
Okay.
Going northwest.
So more like
It's more like less than
300,
like 15 degrees.
345 on a compass.
Dude, I never picked up a compass in my life. I don't know.
They got degrees.
They taught me that shit in elementary school, and I was like, cool.
Okay, so
And I used it on video games after that.
there's 360 degrees in a circle.
About 15 west.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
So-
about that many. About yay.
That many.
About yay, yeah.
Okay.
But so he was shitting on the shorts thing, and I was arguing for the shorts thing. But it was more like, you're not gonna change my mind, you know. But it was civil.
Yeah.
And he was like, but what about this? I was like, I don't care. It's like it was like watching a. I watched it back. It's like you ever see like a libertarian debate anyone?
Not in a really long time.
It's hilarious
Because it's
because
always
they don't
like,
give a fuck.
it's always like, oh, I should be able to fix the potholes in my road in front of my house. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Cool. But you shouldn't be responsible for it because you pay taxes for them to come out and fix the road.
But they won't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
They
But
literally
do
won't do it.
Yeah, but
they're
then you're
fucking
not,
me either way.
then you're not allowed to fix the road by yourself. Because what if you throw like bricks in the road and then like
Dude,
fuck it up?
I'll
'Cause
fix
how
the
many
road.
how many intellectually educated people can do construction work? Do you know?
only Adam.
One.
Adam,
okay?
you want to come fix my driveway? That would be nice. I've popped many a tire, but yeah,
Depends on what the
one of those
material
things.
is. I probably could.
Fucking, it's fun. It's all gravel, so
Oh, you have a tractor?
no. You've seen my house.
You have the truck?
Yeah.
Do you have a tailgate ratchet on the back of it? Like a.
You want me to drag something across the gravel? Is what you're saying? All right.
That
yeah.
won't matter if it's a sinkhole. Is it a sinkhole? Does it keep coming back?
Oh no, it's paved underneath.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
fucked. Have you been down my driveway?
No.
One day.
If the gravel's
One
just
day
washed
you'll
out-
understand how bad you don't want to go down it.
If the gravel's just washed out and it's not level.
There's just like, it's a road, but the one part is raised and low, and then like then it's kind of even, and then there's like just a big fat hole, and then you have to ride over it.
Ran a motor grader.
I don't know. I'd have to show you
Literally
it.
go
I would
to,
have
like,
to show you it because I
go to
cannot
John
describe
Deere.
to you.
Go to John Deere. Ask for a compact tractor with a front
But it's not all gravel.
bucket pass. You don't need it. You're gonna put that bucket into the fucking ground by like 2 inches, and you're going to drive forward.
Brother, there's some asphalt there. How am I getting? All right, I don't know. Well, I'm gonna talk to you about that later. I don't even know where to begin on that, but yeah, I mean that's how that
You're
podcast
basically-
went. Is that conversation?
Yeah,
Right.
that's rough.
But not in a bad way too, because we got along plenty.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you can
so
get along and disagree.
you
with
know
them.
the excessive force thing in the southeast. Everyone's like, "Don't hit me,"
It's
and then some people are like, "Yeah." It's the most divided here. I feel like if you go anywhere else, except for maybe like the northeast, but I don't know because I watched them fucking. I hate to say this, but pop, you know, right?
Yeah.
They have a tendency,
So-
but it's one of those things where he was like, "Yeah, fuck that excessive force, bullshit, yada yada." you know.
Here's how I
They
feel.
base it on injury
Yeah.
in a way,
Yeah.
or malicious intent, which is something I brought up before, and I think
How do you prove
me and
malicious
you
intent?
argued that,
Yeah. How do you
Yeah.
prove malicious intent?
and I think that's just one of those things that
Yeah.
you can only know if you are a fighter.
If you are hitting somebody well after the afterblow or outside of a ring, that's obviously malicious intent, right?
People forget too. You can actually see someone's face through the mask if you pay attention. At
I
least
mean,
a little.
I've fenced people with smiles on their face the whole time, and then I've fenced people who have like grimaces on their face because they're actually trying. I can't. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
say that someone's facial
Yeah.
expression means that they're being malicious in a sporting context.
So if you're being malicious, you have to have some emotion behind it.
No, I don't think so.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can
mean,
come up and
Why
punch
else
you
would
right
I be
now.
malicious towards you unless I felt some type of way? You
because
were
people are
upsetting
fucked up
me.
in the head.
Yes, but well, yes, you are winning.
Sure.
This is a fucked up in the head
Sure,
scenario.
sure.
You're winning,
Yeah.
so I'm going to hit you hard and disable you. That's malicious.
Yes,
right?
it can
But like for me to do that, it has to be so obvious because how am I going to line up that shot? How am I that good that I got frustrated to that point to where I had to do that to you? Because if I was that good to begin with,
you wouldn't be losing.
I wouldn't be losing. I would at least be tied, right? So it's like when you watch it mainly it's like after the hold, right? That's mainly what we're concerned about is after the hold.
Yeah.
But there's that moment. It's like defend yourself anyway. For one,
Right.
Two, it's a body language thing for me. I've always known when it's malicious intent. It's always been obvious, at least in a non-HEMA context for me. It's always been obvious. There's been times in a HEMA context where it's been obvious because the ante got upped. Now it was sparring, different than tournament. But I think if you're going to tournament, you don't really have room to bitch about getting hit hard. You signed up for it. Now, if the rules state this and they didn't enforce it, you have the right to be upset. But if you get injured, you signed to be injured. That's how I think of it, right?
So here's my opinion. Okay. I know we've talked about D-pad before. Which is kind of like.
I should have said that. Fuck, I forgot. Damn it.
It was kind of a way for me and Chris Earls to give clubs and schools a tool and guidelines for like how the general population should think about excessive force, in our opinion, right? If you hit me in the head and my fencing gear gets damaged to the point where I can no longer safely fence into it,
that's shit.
even though I'm not injured, that should be considered excessive force.
Now, I have a problem with that. What if they're wearing like one of those Blue Falcon masks or whatever the fuck, that are shit, and you just tap them?
So
does that dude get carded because you have a shit mask?
As far as I understand, Blue Falcon masks have been like tested and tried, and then have not like been approved by the community. Everyone that I know that has tried like a Blue Falcon has been like, yeah, don't ever buy them, don't use them, they're not any good. Whether or not
with
that
the
makes it,
exception of like a few people, but
if that makes it into the event, and the event organizer says, yeah, we're not allowing this type of fencing mask. That's a different conversation.
I think that should happen more. For Midlands, I almost require just koozies, but I can't guarantee everyone's just going to come in with a koozie.
Right.
So I have to compromise as an event organizer, and I'll tell you what, that's the shittiest thing in the world.
Well,
when you're charging people money, and so I'm trying to give people as much leeway as possible. I think the AF Deluxe is more than.
I was going to say we tested that AF. They're
Dude.
strong AF.
They are strong AF, but the AF is fitting. If you have an AF mask, you're going to have that mask at least 3 years, in my opinion.
So I have
hard sparring, or maybe a year. Maybe I might replace a $135 helmet. It might have gone up since I bought it last. Inflation's a fucking thing, whatever.
I think
buy it every now and then.
I think I had my AF mask for close to 5 years, and like all the stitching was good. And I got to a point where it's like, hey, like I've had this for a while. The conversation about excessive force come up, and I was like, hey, I'm just going to get a new mask and then destroy this one to see what it actually takes to destroy it.
Yeah.
And I would never feel comfortable hitting anyone as hard as it would take to dent that mask.
No.
Right. So.
And today, you've seen, obviously we had a club split and everything, so culture has obviously changed a little in here, but these guys hit. They're not afraid to hit you, but they won't hurt you necessarily.
Yeah,
I seen like one thing today where Jeff was like, "Oh, my hand," but they bought some gloves I've never seen before that are like Spez knockoffs.
Really?
But I wore them and I was like, I like these better than mine. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you can wear these. I think the plastic's a little shittier, but I think they're sufficient gloves because they haven't bitched up until that point. But that leads me to believe that one day there's going to be a crack and it's just going to be a gauntlet switch, which is fine. Your gear
hopefully
has to
get their money out.
Dude, he's got a good job. He doesn't have to worry about it, so I'm not too worried about it with them. He bought what he wanted to buy, and he bought light jackets. That was the only thing I really cared about was the light jackets, because I don't think that you gain anything out of the light jacket unless you already have a heat issue. Like, I would let Adam wear a light jacket because Adam has nerve damage, so Adam can't feel unless it really hurts. So you could wear a light jacket, but I would still want him to wear the inserts, right?
Like the plastic.
But I say that because he can't sweat.
Yeah.
He physically can't. So it's smart for him to have that, right? If you're just bitching about the heat, you don't have a light.
No.
And
but
you're
I have room to like move my jacket around. right? So
Really?
yeah, if I put it on like the bottom, kind of
You
like
have an
a belt.
older one too, right?
Yes.
That makes it a little different from what I could tell when I had that women's one that was older.
Yeah. So
And it wasn't even that old.
the one I bought is made by Spez, sold to Leon Paul, which is like a high-end Olympic fencing company that was trying to get into HEMA. The inserts are great. The jacket was sewn all the shit.
Yeah.
And then it's still made by Spez.
You know,
right?
I don't know if they're Leon Paul. What were those gloves that were big for side sword back in the day? They got a pair in Charleston. It's like the last ones on earth.
What do they look like?
They look like motorcycle gloves that have just been souped up. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you without showing you a picture.
If you know, put it in the comments. I'd have
Do
to ask
they got
Sean.
metal fingertips?
No,
Okay.
I don't know.
Those
I'm
I
not
think are
speaking on it.
called comfort fencing. And you can find plans on them online. They're still really good.
I actually have no clue, but it was a brand, I think.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I
if
couldn't
someone
tell you.
knows, comment it. I'm gonna call Sean and ask. But yeah, like those are cool. But that was all like a bunch of old school gear they got lent over.
Yeah.
The whole gear thing is, we're always gonna have to be improving it. We're always gonna have to. But
the Masters didn't use gear. What did the Masters
this
use?
conversation.
What did the Masters use instead of gear?
Leather
Armor.
caps.
Control.
Well, that too.
Right? So that's my whole argument about what excessive force is. And I know I made a big circle and let you talk a lot. To get back to that point is if I can control my blows, I feel like I'm a better martial artist
That's true.
than someone who can't control their blows.
That is true. And the same goes for unarmed as well.
Absolutely.
But there's also that time where you might need to not.
Sure, but
Right.
not in a sporting context.
Sure, in a sporting context. What does the rule say? What's the
I
rule
don't
say?
know.
No, don't do that shit with me. Don't do that shit with me.
So at what point in time will you say, hey, I just got hit too hard?
Knocked out.
Okay, so
Knocked out or broke something. For me. It's different for everyone though.
Sure.
It's different
Sure.
for whichever tournament you go, whichever rules you have. That's the thing with HEMA. Everything's a little different everywhere else. You gotta read up.
sure, that's your personal line in the sand, right? If I get hit and my ear goes, boo,
See,
that's one of two things. Either the mask clapped my ear, or I got hit kind of hard.
sure. But here's the thing. You'll get a Wakuzi Cobra one day, maybe.
Oh, I got one. That's
But you have the overlay.
I have the overlay,
Which
yeah.
is
Yeah.
low-key better in my opinion. But if you get a Wakuzi Cobra, you'll notice you have this space between your helmet and the overlay. You ever held your ear up to a conch shell or a seashell?
Yeah. You hear shit.
Yeah, whenever
right?
you fucking hit it, and it always sounds like you got hit harder than you did. And a back of the head hit in that is great. You don't feel it really. You're safe in that helmet. But God, your ears will start ringing because it's loud in there sometimes, So, but what is that? Is that too hard or is that the helmet? I think that's the helmet at that point. But how do I fix that is my thing, and spray insulation in there. that was my idea, but I just decided to deal with it.
Yeah.
But there are trade-offs. It is a martial art. It's like I'm sure dudes in the beginning doing karate had all these same conversations. Even when it came down to rank,
If you watch some of the old stuff in like the 80s and 90s, they're like heel kicking each other in the temples and shit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, still are.
Well, yeah.
Except for the new era.
Yeah, the
But
Olympic-
If you look at Kyokushin, it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
If you look at Shotokan, it has changed. If you
Does-
look at Tongsudo, it's wildly different across the board.
Does Kyokushin punch in the face?
No.
Why?
Because if I punch you in the face, all right.
Yeah, exactly. right? There's
If you would let
rules.
me punch you right here,
Yeah.
I promise you'd be fine, and I
You'd
wouldn't.
break your hand.
Yeah, I'd be fucked, right? Even if it was here. I'm sure your face is fucked up, so is my hand.
My teeth might cut you, and then you'll
Yeah,
get gangrene.
I've hit plenty of people in the mouth, and it's not horrible, but you don't want to do that too many times. Every fight I've been in, outside, for the most part, outside of martial arts, has been a kid with braces.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say in my youth, it's always been this kid with braces, and at some point I've accepted that my knuckles are gonna get fucked up because I have this bad habit of punching to the face. So what I would do is I would grapple. I'd get them in a rear naked. I remember doing this in my yard to a kid once. It just kept pissing me off. And I took these and I just kept raking them across the mouth. you know, just to fuck his braces up. I did that to one kid once, and he actually had braces the next day because I hit him in the mouth. And he was the only kid that got to go back to school after that, after like 2 days, whenever I had to go for a week. But there's like all these kids with fucking braces. I don't know if he had braces before or after. I think he had them after, but he swears up and down that he didn't, but no one else remembers. So I don't know if I'm being gaslit.
I don't know.
If I was being gaslit like 6 years ago, but that was one of those things. Yeah, protect your hands. Like my hands hurt, and I'm 21, and it's not from like hitting the makiwara or anything. It's just like
pop and crack when you do this.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's rough. Mine don't even do that.
So mine won't straighten unless I make them, and that hurts. That's stretching. It doesn't. It's not a bad hurt, but it is an absolute stretch, right? So you gotta take care of that. The one thing in HEMA, especially people don't focus on, is the wrist, wrist and elbow.
Yeah, I got an elbow issue right now.
Dude,
I got what they call cubital tunnel syndrome, right? So there's, I think you can see it on the camera. There's a ligament that like crosses your forearm this way, and it like wraps around either to the back of your upper arm or to your forearm. I don't remember, and it compresses your ulnar nerve.
That shit give me trouble.
So like it'll make my hands go numb. Right?
Oh,
but like right now I'm fine.
Poor bastard you.
Right now I'm fine. When I lay down, the pressure from like the bed will like make my hands like start hurting.
Do you have to sleep on the other side?
It's both sides.
Oh man.
And
I've noticed at night when I sleep, I've been a little uncomfortable in the arms, and the other day I blocked something, and I was just like, I wouldn't have been like that any other way.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I think happened, and it was doing PT myself the wrong way.
Oh.
Yeah. I ended up doing like a bunch of pulling exercises for like 6 months, and what ended up happening?
Those shits will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Is I got a dominant interior, or no, these are flexors, these are extensors. I got dominant flexors.
So
right, and like working this, like I'll get like tendonitis super easy.
Yeah.
But fencing, it doesn't give me a problem. Where most people, they get golfer's elbow or tennis elbow.
Yeah.
This is like golfer's elbow on the inside here because of the nerve.
What the fuck, man? That's really weird. For the most part, I think my issues are I've got this weird discoloration in my hands always, but it's like especially on my palms right there. I think that's just from exercising and poor nutrition. But like
Poor circulation.
I think my biggest issues are in my sacrum and my glutes. And I did a little bit of kicking practice, and it actually helped.
Nice.
That much. It was like one day I tore my groin and it was fine again. You know what I mean? It's like how the Shaolin do. Yeah, it's like how the Shaolin do to little kids. Like wham, right? When I was a kid, Dan taught me like the forced stretch where you just have your legs out and someone puts their feet on them and pulls them out. Yeah.
Like on Star Trek.
And one day he didn't tell me. He just told me to take a deep breath, and I was at the old place, you know, and I think I was cussing, and I was young, and I was like, oh, I hope I'm not in trouble, but I was in pain, dude, and I wasn't right the rest of the day, you know, and I did jiu-jitsu though, and I felt great the rest of jiu-jitsu, because all you're doing is opening and closing,
and pulling back
and using your legs, so I was sore for a few days after that, but until about the last 3 years or so, I hadn't noticed any issues with it, but I hadn't been using them as much either. Yeah. So I'll tell you this too: judo will fuck some shit up.
I wish there was a judo school near me. Right? I would enjoy. I don't think there is.
I think there is.
I think the closest one is in Raleigh.
No, I think there's one near you.
I think there's one in Charlotte that closed down.
No.
Really?
There was a Sambo guy in Greensboro, actually, but that's
Greensboro.
Yeah.
It's like almost 2 hours, I think.
Dude, I had to drive to the Sambo clinic there, but he does something else somewhere else. He's in Germany right now, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
well, if you find that information,
if I find it, I'll send it to you. I can ask Sensei Trav.
I know there's
Sensei Hockley, and be like, hey, what's in here?
I also know there's like an MMA gym kind of near me, or really close to me.
Oh yeah, the one up near you is really good.
Which one?
I know it's in Rock. Like.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I know there's one up there. If it's not that, there's a really good boxing gym there that's got pros in it. So
Nice. So
you
I
you
got a
have
funny
some
story.
options. Yeah.
I got a funny story about boxing. I went to a boxing gym for like 6 months, and like the last class I took, I found out boxing wasn't for me when I stepped in the ring and the coach was like, "You can do whatever you want. All he's going to do is jab." And the only thing I saw for the full 3-minute rounds was the fucking ceiling.
Yeah.
The whole
I've
fucking
been there,
time.
except
the whole fucking time.
at the warehouse, they didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
They would quadruple jab and then overhand right, you know?
Oh, God.
So, like, you were knocked out
Yeah,
9 times out of 10.
That's
Like,
rough.
they wouldn't knock it. So, they wouldn't use headgear.
So, okay, so
But
now we're
there's-
talking about headgear
but listen,
and safety,
but
right?
listen, their reasoning for it was very interesting.
Yeah.
They don't put on the headgear because now you're scared to knock the guy out because he's your friend. Unless you're not friends that day for some reason. Which if you have headgear on, now you think you can hit as hard as you want. I've seen way more people knocked out with headgear on, personally.
Because, and you can Google
False
this.
sense of security.
No, it's not a false sense of security. So we're talking about head injuries now, right? Which is a topic in HEMA. I think it was like 2 years ago, they did a study and proved that if you wear headgear while you're boxing, your chances of having a brain injury go up.
I think it's related to how hard people are hitting when they have the headgear on.
So that was the initial assumption, and please do your own research before you take my word for it. But the padding in the glove compresses and expands like a spring.
Yeah.
So does the padding in the headgear.
Yeah.
So
you're getting a double compression, double expansion.
Compression, double expansion, right? So it's whipping your head back.
Ooh, yeah.
Right?
I didn't think of that. But I feel like, too, there's a legit part of security. You know,
Sure,
if I
of
threw
course.
that on and fought someone, I'll say this, I can say from personal experience, I'm less worried about my head when I have it on, even
Sure.
though I should be worried about it. Now, when
Sure.
I was a kid and I was trained, different story, because
Yeah,
I was absolutely worried about it then because I was trying to be the best, you know.
I have a question. What would you have to practice if you weren't wearing headgear? Come on.
I'll rephrase that.
If you were boxing somebody and it was just a friendly sparring match, what would you have to practice in that sparring match? Control.
Oh, yeah.
I always go back to the control argument.
I don't.
Right?
I mean, yes.
Because for 2 reasons.
Yes.
It makes you a better martial artist, and it
Yes.
keeps your training partner safe.
Yes.
Right?
Fuck the headgear.
Those 2 things.
We should be doing HEMO without helmets, obviously.
I mean, I'm not going to condone it. I'm not going to condone it.
Someone gets a sword in their mouth. That would fucking suck.
It'd be terrible.
Dude, I've already seen chipped teeth in Savannah.
Man.
I don't know how that happens to them. That's happening a lot lately with the cobras, actually. And I think it's if you get it too small, it will chip your teeth.
So I've seen 1 or 2. It was 1 instance that I saw.
I've seen Marshall and Ash twice. And
That,
it was
okay, so there has
Adam
been
that
2
did it to him,
instances. I saw Marshall get his teeth chipped, but there was a guy I saw.
When did you see it?
A long time ago.
Oh, this happened again. So it's now twice on him.
Oh, no.
Twice on Ash. Because Ash did it to him.
Oh no.
And then he did it to Ash. And then Adam did it to Ash.
So
I haven't had this issue yet. I wish. That seems so cool, but
that's rough.
Yeah.
So the one I saw, I'm not going to name no names or where, but the fella had broken like 3 teeth.
I think I know what you're talking about. Maybe.
Yeah. And
Unless it was a long time ago, but I saw some shit where a dude got knocked out. But I don't
No,
know
he
if
wasn't
landed
knocked
here. Okay, whatever.
but what happened is his fencing mask, he had slipped up, right?
Kind of like how
Like it
dudes
slipped
did
up.
earlier.
Yeah.
Who was that? Whose mask flipped up earlier? Jeff, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was just his bib. I'm talking about the whole thing.
No, someone's mask came up. I think it was yours.
Dib.
It was Dibs.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Dib wrapped
Dibs
around
side,
his
it
spine
came
with
up.
the Geisling.
He's
Okay.
had his for a while too.
Okay.
He's had his as long as
Dib
mine.
Geisling me across the back, and I got pissed off, so I super thrusted him in the face.
That's hilarious. If you didn't
But-
hear that, he got pissed about a Geisling to the back, so he super thrusted Dib in the face, and
Yeah, I
Dib's
down
helmet
constrained
went.
I down constrained was on, and it came up and jumped with it.
It was pretty. There was a lot of pretty exchanges today. I enjoyed the gauntlet.
Yeah, the was fun.
But one thing I noticed is just the more you wear those, the more the stitching pops. But I got mine when I was 16,
Yeah.
so the stitching is popped, but it fits fine because
I'm gonna hold this really quick.
it's actually molded to my head. It's stuck on the bamboo stand or the Tommy stand. So here's the thing: the stitching there's popped. The only actual issue is in here, where the overlay is now disconnecting from the mask. So I look like I have a puffed up cheek on either side, and that's an issue. But the actual overlay being busted out is fine because that thing fits on me exactly how I want it to. It wobbles exactly the right amount for me to be comfy with it. I haven't had an issue with it personally. I would wear it as a tournament if they would let me still. I would probably still try to and get away with it.
Here's the thing that I would like to see future HEMA companies think about, and I know they've experimented with it. This is not something I want to wear and take a full contact blow.
I want more padding on the inside and maybe a little more rigid protection underneath this.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Right? Maybe
That's all
even
I
a
want.
suspension system.
I'll always advocate for rigid protection.
Yeah.
If you had padding over it, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
How
think.
about a chin support? It rubs it raw.
The chin support in my Cobra doesn't really work. I can do this up and down.
I'm just saying it'll rub and it gets raw.
I keep a beard, so I don't have that problem. Yeah. Grow out your beard.
But again, going back to like excessive force and control, in my opinion, it would be less of an issue if we had better gear.
Agree.
So
We just need to work on that.
How do we work on that as non-producers of manufacturing equipment?
Well, I think we already did part of that when we did the mass test, personally.
Yeah, okay, I'll agree.
There's
with that. I'll
also,
agree with
I
that.
want to buy those ballistic dummies.
Yeah.
There's plenty to be.
Here's what I'll say
made there.
about if you get a ballistic dummy, you should also look into. It was a TV show on the History Channel. They had like force parameters. I just made that word up, but it was like some piece
Forged
of.
and fire or whatever?
No. It was like the military versus this military, or like knights versus
Oh,
pirates.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I forgot that was on the.
Yeah. And they would put these little.
It's
like,
on YouTube now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I know what you're talking about.
They put these little like G-force multipliers things on the weapons and like swing them and like hit stuff and it would like transfer force.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen exactly what you're talking about.
On the computer. Yeah.
I saw the Japanese versus Night One or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, that's funny as shit. It was on YouTube. Yeah.
Again, the thing with that though is you can't have a standard number. You can't have a sensor on your sword that lights up if you swing harder than 400 newtons or whatever.
But dude, we need a lot of wires going on.
Well, it's not even that. It's just everybody's different.
Elon Musk is gonna have to come into HEMA and do that for us. Like we're not there yet. You know what I mean?
No,
We're not using proto sabers yet.
Here's
like in
what
Star
I'm gonna
Wars,
say.
where they're like attached to a backpack. You know what I mean?
Here's what I'm gonna say. Elon Musk is banned from 13 Scholars. He's the first student I've had to ban.
Stop it.
Deadliest Warrior was named the TV show.
Deadliest Warrior was.
Why is he banned? Why is he banned? Give me three good reasons he's banned. Because if he came in here with some money, I would have bitched.
He can't play Path of Exiles.
Yeah.
Yo, he's like #1 in Diablo, dude. What the fuck? Oh man. Did you watch his fucking Path of Exile stream?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the stream. I saw some clips on it.
It's so funny he streams. I forget that. Snoop Dogg does too.
Yeah. He's too busy.
Not doing HEMA, obviously.
He's too busy not doing HEMA, right? So
And now he's in office, technically.
Office?
You
I thought
didn't
he was
see
just
that?
like an advisor.
He's head of government efficiency. That's like a new department.
Officially?
Yeah, dude, I read it. I swear it. I think it's official. But like, I saw Trump's cabinet, and he was like the odd man out at the end of the table. Like, this has never been there before. You know what I
He made a
mean?
new position in the cabinet.
I swear to God, yeah.
How hard is it to make a new cabinet?
Not that hard. You just fire everyone and not rehire them, dude. I'm sure if I was president, I would probably fire 90% of the dudes in there.
I was making a woodworking joke.
I didn't. It's a good point.
It's a great
good point. It's a good point. Damn it, I work with cabinets sometimes. Fuck. It's not that hard.
I'm trying to think of a third reason as to why Elon Musk would be banned from 13.
This is a real.
I mean,
conversation.
just like morally.
Just morally.
Yeah, it
You
would
know
be
why?
the right
All
thing
right,
to
listen.
do.
This is why. This would be my reason for you.
Okay.
I'm not gonna ban them.
Yeah.
Right? I would love to have cooler HEMA equipment and send it to space and bring it right back down. Because then I could be the first HEMA astronaut. Think about that. I could be the first dude doing HEMA on Mars.
So I got a problem with that.
The gravity's different, and it's
No.
gonna fuck up the excessive force.
No.
Do you think we can hit harder on Mars?
When metal touches metal in space, it welds together. So you'd have better bind mechanics, but then you might not be able to unbind it, right? So
I didn't know any of this. Holy shit!
so it binds on an atomic level because
So I would have to like store it until we like got to Mars.
Yeah.
I can't do it on the ISS. I gotta get a wood sword.
yeah, you have to use.
We have
Shinai.
to use the Shinai with the cross guard, the PVC cross guard. We gotta go back to 2011 HEMA.
We
We gotta go back to ARMA.
I got another interesting fact for you. Japanese satellites made out of wood.
A lot of satellites are made out of bullshit. You can hack into them real easy.
No,
You
I
just
mean
get
like
a
the
lot of
frames
power.
of them are made out of wood.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
wild. When I
I
first
didn't know
learned
they were
that,
made
I
out
was
of
like,
wood, but that's fucking hilarious.
yeah.
I mean, you can put
absolutely.
anything up in there, you know.
Sure.
You don't want to put anything up there.
Was it the Kelsinger effect, where we have too much junk in the space in our atmosphere to be able to leave and
I thought
enter
that was
safely?
like the time one or whatever, where if you're up there, it's more time than I don't.
No, that's
I don't
just the
remember.
theory of relativity.
Oh God, I haven't been in school in a while, dude. Don't. Fuck.
Neither have I. I have not been in school longer than you haven't been.
You graduated.
Fair.
like you graduated.
Fair.
You're
Yeah.
You've got a nice job, and you fucking you know shit. You remember shit.
I remember shit.
I think I'll retain it once, and
It just
Dan
oozes out the side.
described it this way, and I related to it a lot. He's got like filing cabinets, and once one's filled up, it closes forever. That's his brain. And the martial arts one is the only one open. So sometimes shit may leave, or sometimes you just can't open that cabinet to remember it ever again. Like he was talking about going out, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know who you are." Some of it's memory issues, obviously, but some of it is ADHD too.
Yeah. There was a Stephen King movie that was like that, where like the guy could go into his head and then like go to the library and like pull out old memories and stuff.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
I've heard someone describe it as having every tab open and like 3 of them are playing music, and there's like 20 tabs.
Yeah.
You know? And you're trying to work while it's all happening, so you're like, look at that one, right? And I related that because I was working the other night, and I was like, oh, I get the analogy now because I've got 20 tabs open and I can't find them.
Yeah, it's rough. Like it's one of those things where I'm sitting here talking now, and I'm doing my damnedest to focus, but I'm also like thinking about the shit I gotta do later.
I'll get stuck looking in this direction every time. If you look at the Good Marshals Universal podcast, I'm like stuck here.
Yeah.
Because they'll be talking a lot more to me because they'll know more, and I'll be like, yeah.
I do that too. I'm like looking around and like pointing stuff out, and I'm like, all over the place. But I try to reel it in. Like I'm fighting to reel it in.
I forgot what I was gonna say about Elon Musk, to be honest. And that was the third reason.
Oh, you said you want to be the first fencer in space.
Yeah, well, that's why I would allow him, not ban him. I had a good reason for you to ban him, and then it just fucking went out. I gotta find the tab.
You gotta find.
I gotta find the Elon tab and scroll down to the third reason.
He's a cheater in pathways.
No, it was the Neuralink thing. Instead of just
the fucking monkeys killing themselves.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. I didn't know that they were doing that. No. So you know the wires go into the brain, and they're small, so they don't cause brain injury.
Sure.
But they'll get rejected by the brain. So instead of just fixing the design, he made them longer. But the guy who initially started working on it with them, he's got ones that they just kind of sit on the surface.
Yeah.
They don't have to drill
You have to play with my hair.
No, I'm trying to illustrate this for everybody. Instead of like the drill, they cut a slit, they slide it under.
So it's on top of the skull?
It's on top of the skull,
okay.
And it's like little microfibers, and it uses electricity, I think. I don't know. I'm not a fucking brain surgeon.
The brain uses electricity to communicate with itself.
Well, I know this. They put like 4 in, and it goes deeper than Neuralink does.
Weird.
Yeah, and that guy was originally working on Neuralink, and because they didn't want his idea, he went and made his own shit. So that guy's out there with a really good product that's helped more people, in my opinion.
So I didn't
been
know about that.
More cool. Yeah. Look up the guy that quit that bullshit. whatever the fuck it's called. I already.
So,
Neuralink.
so I know there was this.
It started in like 2016, I think.
It's a concept for VR in like 2026 or 2027, and it's like a fucking helmet with sensors on it.
No, it's sort of
Yeah.
online all over. No,
Right?
no,
Right?
we're
It's just gonna have a metal rod
We're
right in the center
cooked.
that's like spring loaded the entire time.
Oh no, that's gonna be so.
Even practitioners will have a one-up on the internet.
Dude, that's gonna be
Yeah.
so fun. Yeah, dude. So like the cool thing, I just sold him the VR, so he gives his buddy as a present, right? I almost fucking
Happy
forgot
Christmas.
it. Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Whatever the fuck. Happy Kwanzaa. All right.
Respect.
Happy Hanukkah. I don't know any other holidays that happen.
Yuletide.
Yuletide.
Yeah, Yule.
Saturnalia.
Say
And
that
shit.
again?
Saturnalia.
Saturnella.
Like
Like
Saturnalia.
Saturnelli?
Salmonella.
Salmonella. There we
Happy
go.
Salmonella. Happy Salmonella.
Saturnellius.
Saturnalia? Saturnalia? I don't fucking know.
I drive a
Saturnalgia.
Nissan. I drive a Nissan Saturnellius.
Hold on. If the I's were pronounced as J's in Latin back then, would it be Saturnalgia? Saturn. We know it's Saturn.
Hallelujah.
Nalgia.
Hallelujah.
Oh fuck! I can't believe I just did that. I've wondered that for a while. I forget how the
I always thought
I
it was
forget how the
Saturnellus.
endings work. I think the endings aren't affected by that whole I as a J thing, but I could be
I
wrong.
don't know. I thought it was Saturnellus.
I know C's are hard K's. Like instead of sub, it's K. Always.
I don't
What,
speak Latin.
I did 3 years of Latin in middle school and bombed
Okay.
2 years because. So we had a really good teacher. I'm gonna shout out Mr. Hendricks right now. Shout out Mr. Hendricks and shout out Mr.
Saturnalia.
Fuck you,
Saturnalia. Okay.
bitch. How dare you come over here and correct me? You son of a bitch. No. What the fuck? Now I don't even remember what I was talking about. God fucking damn it, this is the issue. We're about to wrap up here in like 5, but what was I on about?
Your Latin teacher.
My Latin teachers. I had a good Latin teacher, and but he was just too socially awkward, and we were middle schoolers, so we bullied him out of school, and we got a new one.
That's
and,
terrible.
And the new one, it was just like first year there, so he didn't do a good enough job, and he got clowned too because we were tired of not having a teacher to clown anymore.
Do you know the Latin word for computer?
Well, there shouldn't be one because
Computer.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Here we go. Here we
There
go.
shouldn't be one because they didn't have it. They didn't have those back then. I'm like,
Right.
yeah. It's Latin school though. It's actually really easy
Yeah, it's all about
until
killing
you
people.
get into genitive clauses or something. If you get to like clauses and endings, that sucks because there's no words that are just like possessive or anything. You just make the person possessive of this because they have the same ending or some shit.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
And this is the most fucked up part. There's no word order because the endings matter. So you're deciphering the endings of each word to find out the English word order.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I could say, "You are my friend," right? Or I could just say, "I'm a whatever the ending is for you are my." If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's like a possessive.
Yeah, you're like shoving all the words at the end of the word.
I think there might be a word for my, but like
Yeah.
I would have to put you in a possessive context for the word.
Oh no, don't possess me.
Oh God, yeah, don't do that. Maybe that's why
Yeah.
they weren't they weren't too fond of demons back then. You never know.
Nah, they were friends.
Nah, dude.
You don't think?
Oh, back then, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
That was before Christ, man. We're talking about Rome still. Rome after Christ, maybe not as much, but still, because now they're scared of the demons.
Well-
They're definitely scared of the demons after Christ, dude. They're like, nah, dude, we're all about Christ. After that whole shit with Constantine, where he's like, oh, God.
I don't want to get wetted up by the Vatican, but I'll tell you after the podcast.
All right, bet. Well, all right, everybody. We've gone on for longer, which I don't mind, because
There's going to be like a 30-minute podcast from all the shit I got to cut out.
Yeah. I think you have to cut, like, 20 minutes.
At least 20 minutes. Yeah.
No, honestly, like 10. I don't
We'll see.
I don't cut much out, but I think that the most
We got
debauchery
distracted a
of
lot.
it,
We got
the most
distracted.
debauchery of it was about 10 minutes. You know, I think we kept it on track pretty good though.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, did you vacuum? Did you
Yeah,
vacuum?
he swept everything on the vacuum.
You vacuumed while we were sitting here talking.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was on for like 10 seconds.
Oh my god. I didn't even, you must have swept that shit up in a brick.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up with one question.
Oh, I like that.
If you had to create a new brain rot word, what would it be and what would it represent?
Stephanie. She's knocked the fuck out. She's the queen of it
Not
over
at all.
there. I'm not gonna bother her.
Okay.
I say. Oh, dude,
That's rough.
That's rough.
That's rough.
That's really rough. You ever played hacky sack?
Oh yeah.
Sacky whack.
Sacky whack?
Yeah.
For what?
All right.
Just
so
the
like, I
new
can
name
use
of
it.
hacky sack
All right.
is
So
sacky
sacky whack is like not hacky sack. It's like hacky sack with your sack. So you're trying to juggle your own sack.
I guess that the context for brain rot makes sense.
It's sacky whack maxing. The more you do it, the bigger your balls get because they swell up.
You just go up to your friend and backhand it up.
That's terrible.
No. You do it to yourself. You have to play hacky sack like this until you're nuts. Until you look like Randy Marsh when he gave himself testicular cancer, and then you hop around like a hippity hop. You know?
Have you ever done that before by accident?
What,
No.
giving myself testicular cancer? No, I have never put my balls in the microwave.
Just trying to sit down and hitting yourself in the dick with the ball of your foot.
No, a lot of times I just sit on them in general. I've sat on my nuts with the ball of my foot, but a lot of times I've just sat on my nuts.
That
Like,
shit's not fun.
that shit hurts, dude.
All
Because
right, so
all your weight's down, and then all your weight's up, and you're like, ooh!
If you stay to the end, comment
Hold on.
hacky sack.
Hold on, real quick. You remember about the whole contraction expansion?
Yeah.
Same thing happens when you sit on your nuts, right? And that's why that shit hurts so bad, in my opinion.
I
I
watched
think the
this.
true question is, do you reckon a three-legged baby?
No, we're not reckoning if a three-legged fellow could do shit, all right?
I watched this one video. It's like a medical thing on like a Reddit story.
Yeah.
This guy dislocated his hip,
Oh, that's rough.
and on the way to the hospital, his testicle went into his hip socket.
I know the story.
And then they reset his hip.
Oh, and then yeah. Oh my god, I'm gonna bomb. Oh my no, shut the fuck up.
So yeah, make sure you count things when you get your hips dislocated.
Like, subscribe, notification bell, comment, sacky whack.
Happy sack or sacky whack. Yeah. there we
Peace.
go.
I gotta vomit after that. I forgot about that, dude. Oh god. Fire.